I'm just going ahead and get this started. So, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Mic is good. Add some emotes. Why don't I? I'll just place my headset elsewhere. Using cord. All right then. All right. If you're just tuning in, hello. My name is Xean, and welcome to yet another live stream video of me deep cleaning one of my many video game consoles. The last stream I did was deep cleaning my PlayStation 3 Slim. Here I'll be deep cleaning my fat model PlayStation 2. I mean, it is kind of needed, but really I don't need to deep clean it for disc reading purposes, considering that this is a modified PlayStation 2, so I can actually play games without needing the discs. But regardless, I do want to deep clean this primarily to get a few games out of the way. So what I want to play off camera are these games: Eco, Radiata Stories, and Shadow of the Colossus. Since I know these two in particular won't be long experiences, but this one I've been having a little bit of a nostalgia feel for Radiata Stories recently, and I haven't played this game in 11 years, so I thought I would get back to it. The only thing I know about Radiata Stories, from what I can remember, is that it is impossible to 100% this game. This game is made on purpose to where you can't really 100% it. So, yeah, I don't plan on let's playing this game. So, yeah. The way it's structured is it probably won't make for a good let's play series. So, yeah. I guess I could put these up. So, let's see. There we go. So, yeah. I guess let's go ahead and disassemble this right now. So, let's prepare ourselves. I got gloves on, first off. Didn't really do that last time. Now, the same tools I use to deep clean my capture card and my PlayStation 3 are the same tools as before. So, the Hyper Tough tool set. This one screwdriver I bought a long time ago that came with the screw bits I need in order to disassemble Nintendo consoles. Although this time I'm using a flathead screwdriver specifically for the backside here. I got Q-tips just in case if I need to really get the dust off. And in case if it's needed. I also got my knife. Rubbing alcohol. There's not much left, but thankfully I have some more stored up. And microfiber cloths to get the dust off. So, yeah, I mentioned that this console is modified. Yeah, it uses FreeMake boot, and it's stored on this memory card, and it's specifically plugged into the left side. I have it set up to where it can boot up into FreeMake boot as long as it's on the, not left side, the right side of the memory card ports. So let's put that aside. I'll put you right there. And let's start by unscrewing the network adapter, which is not an ordinary network adapter. I probably should have announced that I'm going to do a live stream, but yeah, well. Okay, a little bit. Now this is an official hard disk drive adapter for the PlayStation 2. However, I had to buy some additional features just to make this work. Like, as you can see, this is a Western Digital 1TB SSD with a 3D printed mount. That way it can stick in there. Yeah, when you get a PlayStation 2 network adapter, it should not look like this, since these are SATA connectors. Originally, they're IDE connectors, really made for those old hard drives. The one example I can think of at the top of my head is the original Xbox. Those consoles still use. They used IDE hard drives as well as cables to connect to it. But I had to go on eBay, and it was recommended that you go on eBay and find the parts. That way you could replace the original innards. That way you can get this process to work. You can buy custom adapters. They can work, but it was recommended that you just do this setup. So that's what I did, and I guess, yeah, I'll be cleaning this last. So put that aside. And this model of the PlayStation 2 is the SCPH 50001. So, yeah, apparently, what was it? When modifying your console, this is pretty much the one console that you can't easily modify. Like, you can't make a custom FreeMake boot memory card using this PlayStation 2. You have to use other models. And even then, it wasn't like I was able to do it right on the get-go. After a while, the laser within the disk drive stopped working a while back. So, yeah. Let's see. Now, let's remove all 8 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's see. I guess I could use this to get it all off. Nope, it's not flat enough. All right. This one. Yep. Just remember that the rubber feet are on these corners. The rest are plastic. Darn it. And some of these have broken hinges, so yeah, quite a few consoles that I have don't have rubber feet. I know that my original Xbox, when my brother and niece bought me it a long time ago, didn't have rubber feet for some reason, so I may have to find good replacements. There are even custom-made rubber feet, that way you can unscrew it without removing it. So that's something I really, really need. And forgive me. I mean, even though I've only played 2 games on this console for my Let's Playing venture, as well as that Dark Cloud 2 test stream I did. I haven't really played much on this at all, so it was needed. I mean, I know as soon as I play Xenosaga Episode 3 on this, I will have to get it clean, so. And there's already black marks on my gloves, and yeah. I'm also doing this without playing any music, that way you can hear me clearly, since I keep going away from the microphone whenever I need something. And my nose is also kind of runny, so I'll have to take off these gloves occasionally. So anyways, let me see if this fits. It does. All right. So yeah, the default screw is good to get all 8 screws out. Now, all 8 screws are not made equal, so you're going to have to remember which screw goes where. I think the 6 screws right here are long, but I could be wrong. It actually has, I mean, I know how to disassemble and reassemble, but the screws, I kind of forgot which screw goes where, so let's see here. Yeah, this will probably be the last disassemble live stream video I'll do for a while, since I don't plan on deep cleaning other consoles later. The PlayStation 4 Pro might be the next one, but we'll see. I don't really plan on Let's Playing on that console anytime soon, so. Okay, these next set of screws are small, so let's see. You know, it's funny, going back to my PlayStation 2 not being able to read discs. I bought a 30,000 model fat PlayStation 2 from my former coworker in my previous job, and yeah, it was her son's PlayStation 2, and it was very dusty, and I deep cleaned that, and ooh, this one has a white screw bit right here, so I have to remember it goes here. But anyways, I deep cleaned that, and the disc reader was, works perfectly. So, unmodified, I gave it to my younger sister. And you know what's funny? That particular model of PlayStation 2 is so reliable, which I believe it's since the disk drive is still working. So anyways, let's take the top off, which is actually pretty easy. Just make sure it slides off, and yeah, all things considered, it's not really that dusty, but it doesn't hurt to maintain this. I forgot the last time I deep cleaned this, so yeah. Let's put the shell over there. And what is oh, I guess I can remove the controller port next. So let's go ahead and screw that if I can. If I can, there we go. Maybe I should have gotten a smaller bit. Okay. Why not? I think I'll announce it on my post tab. Taking off my gloves right now, so. Alright, let's see here. All right then. It's Saturday. Everyone's sleeping in, so I'm sure no one's up yet. All right. Now, one thing about this controller port is that this hinge right here is broken, so I have to make sure I don't lose that part. But the controller port itself still works. I just have to make sure that when I reassemble it and the ribbon cable is in here, I have to press on it to make sure it stays. And yeah, it does stay, so don't worry, I know what I'm doing. So yeah, here it is. It's broken, and I can take it off. But I can put it back in like that. You could barely see it. It's black, so I'll put you right there. I'll worry about the ribbon cable later once we get to the motherboard. And next, gosh, it's been a minute. Let's see. I think I have to remove this screw right here. Right here. So let's see. Doesn't exactly excuse me, doesn't exactly remove it, but it does remove that. So oh yeah, look at that. Okay, I guess it's a good time as any to dust all this once I get all this done. So and there we go. All right, next is to, well, I'd say get rid of the fan, but the fan is connected by a screw and a cable input within the motherboard. So, let's see here. Whoops. Uh-oh. Shoot. What is that? Ooh, I know what that is. Dang it. Okay, shoot. This ribbon cable is wearing out. A blue strip just fell off, so I may have to do this without my gloves on, just to make sure. Okay. I'll have to keep that in mind. Alright. Now, let's see here. Well, first off, let's go ahead and disconnect this. So there's a little latch right here, and you can just press this down and shimmy it out, and there you go. Alright, let's go ahead and remove this. It's got 4 screws right here. Now, I'm not worried about the well, this is the power supply, so I am not very worried about the power supply at the moment. Although, considering that my sister's PlayStation 2 stopped working once because the power supply stopped working, sooner or later I might have to go on eBay and buy a brand new power supply board with brand new capacitors so that I can play on this for a long time. So yeah, I need to get a closer look. Nothing's disgusting, so everything's good. Good morning, Amanda. Thank you for coming back. I'm glad you're back. So, how are you doing this morning on this lovely Saturday morning? Even though I was told that we were going to be, like, it's hot right now, and I've been told we are going to be still sticking to this hot weather for the next 2 weeks until the weather starts cooling down a bit, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm disassembling and reassembling, cleaning up my fat model PlayStation 2, even though I don't plan on um, playing games on this console until Xenosaga Episode 3 much later. But I guess my forever cloth right there. I guess I could show you the games that I do plan on playing off camera. Yeah. Yeah, these are games I want to get out of the way off camera before I do anything else. So, 1 second. Now, the games I want to get out of the way as soon as possible are the original Eco, Radiata Stories. This one in particular, I was feeling a little bit nostalgic for it, since it's been 11 years since I've last played this game behind the scenes, so yeah. And the original Shadow of the Colossus. For Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, I've already played through both of these games through the HD collection on the PlayStation 3, so I thought I'd play the original authentic experience, even though I know that the original Eco was a rushed release, and Shadow of the Colossus has slowed down everywhere, even in the cutscenes, which is odd. There are also some things I want to do as well. The problem is finding the motivation still. I do know that I want to make one video involving one game. Now, it's not going to be on my main Xean RPG channel because, you know, my channel I mainly play role-playing games, Japanese role-playing games, and obviously Frogger is not. But I did make a secondary channel recently called Xean's Personal Square. I think I want that channel to focus on other things that aren't RPGs. But for Frogger in particular, I think the video will be called The One That Started My Video Game Adventure. Kind of. But yeah. Yeah. But in any event, how have you been doing? Where do I rest this? I mean, my bed has... I think I'll place this in here. That's good. Nothing new, I assume? Oh, I can remove this. There we go. Alright, and I'm going ahead and disconnect the fan cable right here, which is easy. Well, oh, whoops, forgot. Heat shield. Now I can remove the cable from the motherboard. Just a little pull, and there we go. And I think just remove this cable right here. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, hey! Whoops, the audio peak. I hope I'm not too loud. I apologize. Nice, you have a job. Congratulations. I'd ask what you're doing, but that's probably none of my business. But what does your job entail? All right, the fan is out. Nice. And I forgot which. Never mind. There we go. I'll just leave the fan right over there. Food prep. Okay. Nice. Reminds me of my mom's job. Let's see. Yeah, she works in a cafeteria. I guess you could say that she's been promoted. She's getting paid better now than before, so that's a good thing. Yeah. Speaking of food, I might have to cut down on eating out since well, first off, before I go on to this tangent, how's the job so far? Okay, next will be, I think, well, I need a smaller screw bit, so guess I'll get rid of this, for now at least. And so far so good. That's great. Yeah, so far at my job, things have been smooth sailing, even though it's been 1 week since the start of it. Let's see. But going back to eating out, I may have to. I mean, it doesn't do much for me since, look at me, I'm still skinny. But so far, eating out, I might have to cut down on eating out. Sure, I shouldn't have to scarf down everything that's on my plate, but man, do I feel like I have to. And even then, I mean, we don't eat out often, but when we do, after so long, it feels like it's like we've accumulated several days worth of fast food in our stomachs. I remember, let's see, I want to say maybe 4 weeks ago we went to KFC for the first time in forever. And that experience was actually pretty good. They had our food out instantly the moment we ordered. I'm like, okay, I'd like to have the 4-piece chicken with fries on the side and a drink. And the moment I said my order, they grabbed everything that they had ready on the get-go and presented it on the countertop. I'm like, that's the best food service ever. That was actually awesome. And I think they outdid themselves in regards to making the chicken. Yeah, that was definitely delicious. But yeah, yeah, food takes a while to process inside me, so I really can't have a whole lot without feeling bloated, which I have mentioned before time and again. So yeah, um, that's about all I have on my mind. Yeah, but yeah, let's get the screws out. Let's see here. Yeah, and last Sunday we actually ate out in this one diner in town. I mean, the reason why we ate out at this particular diner is because we have been told that certain fast food chains and certain supermarkets, when they sell their meats or make their meats, it's not naturally made. It's made in a factory. So that means it's not naturally processed and all that, which cannot be good for you in the long run if you keep constantly eating. I mean, I'm not a health nut by any means, but seeing as how I've recently quit drinking soda and tea and trying to maintain a somewhat healthy lifestyle. Hearing that, I'm like, great, that's lovely. But yeah, we ate out at that diner last Sunday, and yeah, that was definitely delicious. But that will be the last time I'll eat out in a while. So, all right, yeah. Does the job keep you busy? All right, we can remove this now. There we go. Yeah, it's very relatively easy to disassemble a PlayStation 2, both the fat model and the slim model. Ah, nice. Yeah. The worst thing my job can have me doing is um, having me wait. This happened a lot during the summer where we're getting a few things. I mean, I was part of the carpet cleaning crew, and the process is they have to spray this one thing on the floor, and they have to wait 10 minutes until it's the effects start, and then after that, they shampoo the carpet. Oh boy, those were the most boring 10 minutes. But even sometimes we get a job done, and we've got a lot of downtime, and then after a while, my boss tells me, "Oh yeah, can you do this?" And then I immediately start quickly pacing myself all the way to that task. So yeah, compared to the average coworker of mine, I move very fast. Which is, I mean, some people are surprised about my flexibility and agility, considering, fun fact, I'll be, should I say my age? Should I say my age, even though I've pretty much done the math on my channel? So anyone can venture a guess if they really are interested. So, all right, I just took out the ribbon cables to remove the disk drive. So, and yeah, I'll worry about the disk drive in a little bit, but I can remove this now, I think. Hmm. Oh, right. I forgot. I think there's thermal pads in between here. Great. Do I have to take out my heat gun? Do I have to take out my heat gun just to take this off? I don't have any thermal pads. So I'm hoping this is just paste. I don't want to ruin this because I like this PlayStation 2. Yeah, I'll worry about the disk drive in just a little bit, so. Okay, fine. I'll get my heat gun. Hang on, I'll be right back. It's just in my closet. Ouch, dang it. Well, this overall setup is kind of cramped from where I'm sitting. Well, do I want to? Why not? I mean, as you can see, I don't have a desk. I'm using my bed just to get this cleaned up. And I guess yeah, as you can see, yeah, right here I have my supplies, and I just got my heat gun, my water, microphone over here. So yeah, it's partially cramped. And my audio interface is right here, so I have to make sure I don't knock it or else it might disconnect. But yes, let's see. Yep, I have my heat gun, and hopefully, let's see. Yeah, because that's stuck. Which is funny because I could have sworn that I've taken this off one time before. Let's see. Oh. I didn't need my heat gun. Here we go. Dang it. Well, that's okay. It's the thought that counts. Thank goodness I don't need it. Yeah, I did remember. I replaced the battery in here once. In the PlayStation 2's menu, that those rotating lights that you see as soon as you after you boot up the screen and you're in that menu, those stop working after a while, and that's because the battery in here does die. In fact, I have a PlayStation 2 Slim that I still have. My brother's playing Rayman Arena on it recently because he has that nostalgia bug. But those lights stopped moving. I need to deep clean that PlayStation 2 anyways, considering it had trouble reading certain discs. So, alright, so now we're at the center. Yeah, the heat shield is not bad. The thermal pad itself is not in bad condition. So I think I'm perfectly happy keeping it. So that's, and how long have 39 minutes? Huh. Okay. I guess I can go ahead and start cleaning up a few details, but let's see. And there's kind of a few markings, but nothing that would be of concern. So first off, I want to get the ports cleaned off since they are kind of dusty. So all right, good old rubbing alcohol and a few Q-tips. Yeah, the last few streams I did when cleaning these, I had music on because I thought that would alleviate some of the silent moments. But I decided to forego that because sometimes whenever I'm away from the microphone, you can barely hear me. So, yeah. So, I assume you work 5 days a week like I do, like Monday through Friday, at least. Unless it's like my last job where the only days off I have are on Wednesdays and Sundays. Sorry, needs to be in frame. I don't know why I'm cleaning the optical audio ports, considering I don't use optical audio at all. But it's definitely good to get the audio video ports cleaned up, considering sometimes I get a black and white screen for the PlayStation 2, which is not good. Hmm. And she's gone again. Oh well. She'll probably pop up again. She's done it before, so. Let's see. You know, going back to discussion on modified game consoles, I was worried that Eco wouldn't work with the open PlayStation 2 loader app within FreeMake Boot, but because that game is on CD-ROM and not on DVD, which makes sense considering that that game was going to be made for the original PlayStation in mind, and those games run on CD-ROMs. But thankfully, Eco works pretty well on, like, the game is on Open PS2 loader in spite of the fact that it is a CD. And you have to force it in a different resolution or else it won't work. So I have that game forced in 480p, maybe even 480i. I don't know. It's been a while since I've last checked. But yeah, it kind of makes me wonder why original PlayStation games don't work well on open PS2 loaders, since all of them are CD-ROMs as well. That's just annoying. Let me see. I wonder if... Well, let's test out one thing here. I've got this. Okay. Let's take this. Okay, now to clean the motherboard with this. And since there are no thermal pads to speak of, I am free to get all this cleaned up just using a microfiber cloth. So. Now the little corners, I'll have to use a Q-tip to get around it, so... Let's see. Yeah, I could probably make do with this. I know when I start to reassemble this, I will be doing this without my gloves on. So, although I will say I'll have to remove some of the ribbon cables for the disk drive since they look like they are on the cusp of wearing out. I remember replacing the ribbon cable for the power reset and eject button. That one was falling apart. Thankfully, I found one on eBay that worked. So, and it's been working well since. So, I mean, I've been trying to stretch my dollars in regards to how I maintain certain ribbon cables. Now I have to worry about the ribbon cable for the controller port. I may have to buy a new one altogether. Yeah, the underside doesn't look bad. So I think I'll take a water break in the next 13 or so minutes once the hour mark comes up. Okay, I think next I'll be put you. There you go. Next I'll be tackling on getting the little corners that I can't reach with my hands and my hands alone. So let's see. Right in here. I'm going to go through these Q-tips, I swear. You know what I want? A stand for this console. I was a little late in my life to realize that there exists a stand for the fat model PlayStation 2. And now they're going up in price, which is not fair. Maybe I wouldn't have accumulated a little bit of dust on this console had I had a stand. Now even my PlayStation 5 is collecting dust because it stands. I did a good job getting all the dust out, all things considered. I'm half tempted to take that PlayStation 2 Slim out from the living room and deep cleaning that after this. Right. I really hope the microphone is not picking up my sister's voice. Either of my sister's voice. I know my younger sister doesn't want to be heard. Yeah, just in case. Since it's me cleaning, I might as well mute. I'd say that's a good looking board, all things considered. So next, I think I'll tackle on the board for the power supply. Then after that, I'll get the heat shields cleaned up. So let's do that. Okay, I think it's safe to keep the microphone on now. Never mind. Alright, that's done. I should probably buy that stand for this console. That would make the most sense. I know the PlayStation 3 Slim. I don't have a stand for that, but I know a stand exists. Same thing with the PlayStation 4. I think that's as clean as I can get it. It kind of looks burnt. Some areas kind of look like they're scorch marks. Gosh, I hope that's not a thing. My PlayStation 2 caught on fire. I guess I can do this. I guess that's it for this heat shield, so if that's the case, I can put this back. I can put this back on. Worry about that later. Now this one. Which is just kind of disgusting. Speaking of which, I may need to buy another PlayStation 2 controller. Watching my brother play Rayman Arena last night, he was kind of a little rough with it. And that's the only controller I have. The jerk. A PC gamer shouldn't be that hard on consoles. I'm not doing my best to make sure things are on camera. Like I said, this is kind of a hard position to keep. Q-tip time. Do not knock over the rubbing alcohol, even though it is way too close. Too close. A little bit too close. Alright, I think that's it for the here. Yeah. Uh, Yeah. Time to put this back on. Or at least I think that's the right position. It is the right position. Okay. Now to screw these in, then I'll take my water break. Let's put you both in first. That way I don't forget. Heat advisory. Oh man. 2 weeks of this, I swear. Fun fact, before starting YouTube, I actually did want to delve deep into console repairs as early as, oh boy, how early are we going about? The very first console I quote-unquote fixed was the GameCube, when it was having trouble reading discs. I remember filming, I say I remember filming. With the help of one of my relatives, I actually did film that using my iPod. Kind of wish I didn't delete that footage, but you know, I was a late teenager, so it probably wouldn't have held up since. So, console repairs. After being inspired by a few YouTubers I used to watch at that moment in my life. But then I realized I actually hate technology, so I mean, I'll use it, I'll learn how they work, and if I have to fix it, I will. Doesn't change the fact that they're annoying on purpose. Alright, where's the... Okay. Okay, I guess you could say we're in the process of reassembling, but I'm only going to do the major one. I'm only going to reassemble some of the obvious ones out of the way, so let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh. Yeah, the fan is a very interesting thing. Yeah, it's not pretty dusty, but here's one thing I've learned. I didn't learn this until late 20s. So you can pop this out. And I guess I'll go ahead and grab the wherever I put it. Shoot. Where'd it go? There you are. Well, before I continue, I might as well take my water break. I should get another pair of rubber gloves, but man. There's even holes in it. Darn it. Okay. You know what? Might as well throw these out and grab a new pair. With that, I will be right back, so see you in just a minute. If you hear that sound, never mind it, don't worry. My sister's mowing the yard. I get the feeling I might do some of it tonight, so. Alright. Anyways, let's go ahead and take this apart. That way I can get the fan cleaned up, even though there really isn't that big of a mess. I just like how easy this is. I mean, yeah, when I was a young adult, it definitely wasn't easy to get all this cleaned up, but looking at it now, it's definitely one of the easier consoles to deep clean. I quite like it. I think out of all the consoles I like deep cleaning, I believe the original PlayStation and the PlayStation 2 might be my favorite. GameCube, maybe? The PlayStation 3 is now easy, but it's only because I've just assembled and reassembled quite a few PlayStation 3 Slims. So, not really much to write home about, but oh well. Should I dust here? Probably, yeah. I actually can't wait to play Radia Stories again on my own time, even though I know, man. I'll admit, it kind of bummed me out that I can't achieve everything in that game. In fact, I'm sure quite a lot of people are bummed that you can't do a whole lot in that game. I mean, have you tried, has anyone ever looked up how much the strategy guide for that game is recently? Now it's not expensive, but definitely not the ideal price you want to pay for a strategy guide. I got the feeling there might be people that are trying their best to see if they can achieve everything that game has to offer, in spite of the fact that the game is not made like that. I mean, I remember liking that game back then. So much so, I had to ask myself, how come that game doesn't have a sequel? This is before I knew that Radio Stories is one of the few independent stories that Tri-Ace made that wasn't Star Ocean or Valkyrie Profile. And I got the feeling that game didn't sell well to even warrant a sequel, which I guess it's fine. Dang, this is squeaky clean. Squeaky clean. Oh yeah. I'm just making random noises. There was this thought I had for a while now concerning how people get a certain number of followers, where whatever it may be, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or X, Snapchat, and all that. No offense to them, but sometimes it has me thinking, I'm like, oh, I know why people watch you. I know why you have a great number of followers. To me, it seems like they sacrifice their personality, and what I mean by that is they're probably becoming what they're not, just to gain new followers and here and there. And I think to myself, quite frankly, I'm never going to be that person. I like to try to be authentic with how I am when I approach the games that I play, or the things that I watch, or the things that I listen to. But I know deep down that's probably not enough. And it'll probably never be enough. Yeah, comparing yourself to anyone is never a good thing, but man, is it so darn easy. In my case, it's... I mean, I've been making content since 2014. Was I expecting something to happen overnight? I mean, maybe at the start of it. Not initially, but I was hoping that it'd be a gradual increase. But, you know, one can dream. One can really, really dream. Although, seeing as how I'm doing a type of content that's been dead for pretty much almost 15 years, in a genre that's already niche and not that popular, yeah. I've been told a few times that I'll find my audience eventually. Thankfully, there's quite a few that have stuck around. Which, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate it. But there's also a part of me that feels like this is the world's way of telling me that I can't have this path. Even though my heart says otherwise. I think this is as good as I can get it. And now I forgot which part of the fan goes where. Yikes. Mowing way too close to the house. I could have sworn we have weed. I could have sworn thanks to our dad, now we have weed cutters now. Okay, maybe it is like that. Okay. That doesn't look right. That doesn't really look right. Well, let me put this back. Maybe it'd be better if I put this back. Oh yeah, I don't think that is right. Hold on. Okay. And this needs... Okay. I get it. I get it. Okay, now that makes sense. Now I'm seeing it. Okay. Now the real question is, which way does the screw go? I say, as I said earlier, that I know this console through and through. I will slip up eventually. Okay, yep. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Nice. Alright, next, guess I'll dust off the heat shield and this thing. Oh, whoops. Okay. I'm not sure if that green line on the heat shield means anything in the slightest, but rubbing alcohol removes it. I'm sure it's okay. This happened to me once while I was cleaning something, and it took off one marker, and I'm like, was that supposed to happen? Whatever. They should have made rubbing alcohol-proof markings, but they did not. Regardless, this is squeaky clean. Now this thing. Although, once I get this reassembled, there are a few PlayStation 2 games that I have in my backlog that need to be installed on the SSD shown earlier. Since now I've bought a few things, like... What is not in my PlayStation 2 right now? Jack X is not in my PlayStation 2 yet. And I think that's it. Yeah. And there has to be a way to get original PlayStation games on open PlayStation 2 loader. That'd be the ultimate system. There is a solderless official optical drive emulator for the PlayStation 1, the original PlayStation right now, that doesn't require soldering. But who's to say that that won't be out of stock the moment it becomes readily available? So I would like for my original PlayStation games to work on my PlayStation 2 through accessible means, if possible. And the games look good through components. I know that for a fact. And seeing as how, oh, that's another thing. I did order a new pair of input S video cables from Hauppauge, but for some reason my tracking number and order number got canceled. I may need to make a phone call later today just to see what's up. Because they did take, my money was transferred and they didn't refund me. So the company's based in New York, so it should be here. It said it was supposed to be here on the 1st of August. It is the 15th now, so what the heck is the holdup? I'm hoping the Legend of Dragoon won't drive me nuts. Okay. Butterfingers. Although mowing in this heat, man, last time we mowed was 2 weeks ago because the grass wasn't growing much, which, thank goodness. Yeah, there's one thing I don't like about housekeeping is mowing. We would have hired other people to do that type of job, but I've heard that they charge you an arm and a leg, so no thank you. I'm very stingy and frugal with my money. I don't think I can remove this. Where's my knife? There you are. Yeah, that's not coming off. Yep. That's definitely not coming off. Oh, I really hope the audio is not that affected. Well, I don't want to turn up my audio interface. Because once I do go back to Let's Playing, it has to be at a certain volume or else things are going to be out of whack. Okay. Yeah, I think this is as good as I can get it. So, let's go ahead and grab this. Okay, and let's see. Put this back, if I can remember the orientation. I'm thinking to myself, it's okay, if things break on me, I have an eBay account. don't think it's supposed to be like that. Okay. I think that's the way it should be. And if that's the case, I need to screw this back in. Dang it. I hate that. It's right there. Get it inside, please. And let's see. Yeah. Right over here. Again, sorry that this is not in proper view. Whoever watches this later, I've shown you how this is set up. So, alright, we plug this back in here. And also, like I said, this will probably be the last disassembly, reassembly, deep cleaning stream I'll do in a while. Why the heck can I not plug this in? There we go. Okay. Now to put this back on. Okay, I think that does it. And put the U back on. And then put this back in its place. Make sure you got the 4 pins aligned here. Plug this back in. And get the screws. Uh-oh. I forgot to plug in back the disk drive. Dang it. Yep. That's one reason why. Then again, it's not like I need it, but... What was it that I forgot to do in my PlayStation 3 Slim deep cleaning stream? I forgot a part, and then I had to take a few things out just to get that part in. Maybe I should disconnect the ribbon cable just to make sure um, things um, just to make sure things are connected well. But before that happens, I need to get that. Yeah, I don't really need to clean up this, since I've mentioned before that it doesn't even read discs at all anymore. I'm not even sure how one would prepare this. I mean, I know there are potentiometers here, and I do have a multimeter that can read this. The problem is I bought a cheap multimeter, and it doesn't play any noise when, if ever I find the voltage continuity. But yeah, um, yeah, I think the only thing I'll do is make sure that the corners are cleaned up, and that's it. So I think I'll worry about the laser at a much later date. So again, like I've mentioned earlier, this console's modified, so I don't need the disk drive. In fact, the disk drive not working is the reason why I modified this console to begin with. So okay. Now this. Let's go ahead and make sure that everything is connected well. I need a much better view here. Well, maybe before I do this, I should get the shells cleaned up first, since I want to do this without my gloves on. So, yeah. Let's do that. Let's get this one first. Okay. I think I've used up this more than enough, so I like how even the rubbing alcohol isn't enough to pick up every dust in here. It was able to pick up every dust in the PlayStation 3 Slim, just not in this one. And on some models of the PlayStation 2, there's supposed to be this protective film right here. It's supposed to catch dust, but it just does its job way too well, so I ended up peeling it off. Okay. And I think that's as good as I can get it. It could be better, but yeah, I think this is as good as I can get it. It could be better, but that's okay. Now this one. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'll make a few videos on my secondary channel just to make things and see if, I mean, I'm live streaming now after not live streaming for a while, but I mean, I said that motivation finally kicked in, or is slowly finally kicking in, but it always happens. Whenever I say something's good, something bad happens afterwards, which pretty much sours my mood. It's annoying. Are you having a great day? Oh, yes, I'm having a great day. Something stupid happens. And I can't exactly force myself into doing the things I love. It's not going to feel authentic. And I also have to take time into consideration, since who knows how long I'll be doing this. I get the feeling that as soon as I hit a certain milestone in life, I probably won't do something like this again. Not a good milestone. No, it's one of those milestones where you have to reflect on yourself and thinking, there's probably something else I can do. Yeah. I really hope that didn't damage it. Everything's a competition on the website, so I'm not that competitive. I'd rather do things throughout. I'd rather do things my way, with my own hard work. Which is precisely why I made those behind the scenes live streams. What exactly am I doing that's different? That's a question for the ages. Well, that's it for the top case, so... Uh, the last thing I'll need to clean up is the hard disk drive adapter, so... Yeah, if that's the case, then I guess I can take these off now. First off. Actually, let me check this again. Okay. Don't worry, I'm safe. Reassembling this barehanded, I've done it before. I'm only going to reassemble up and actually, we'll just see. We'll just see. We'll just see. We'll see it. Okay. This. Because I need to plug these in barehanded anyways. It's very hard to do so with gloves on. Alright, let me go ahead and disconnect this. Take this out. And let's see here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to make sure this stays on. Yeah. This part is completely white from either side, and I need to put this blue strip on top of it to make sure it stays. So. Sorry that not much is happening on camera. I have to make... I'm doing this up close just to make sure that it stays. Okay. Everything looks aligned, so... Yeah, as long as I'm careful and I don't pull this, this should stay the way it is, so... This is how it should look. And I guess I'll go ahead and, well... Well, let's see. Okay. Alright. Oh boy, this is going to be difficult. That's as good as I can get it. If this clip breaks, then I'm doomed. Okay. Keep this right there and steady. And get that. That is the other way. Whoops. Okay. Okay, now I need to put the fan back. Oh boy. Please stay. Please, controller port, stay. I would very much appreciate it if you did stay. It's very hard to put this in place like this. That's why. I think I got it. If that's the case, I don't need this anymore. I think I'll wait to I think I'll wait to screw this in until I get the case back in. So okay. Plug that back in. Put the heat shield back in. Put this back on. Put you back in. Plug you back. Okay. All right. There you are. All right, so let's just place this back on and flip this over. Okay. Better make sure this is aligned right. Okay. Right. Need to make sure that the ribbon cable is tucked underneath here, so... And... It looks like it did it for me. Just in case, though. Yep, it's all good. So let's go ahead and screw it in place. Okay. Then place this back diagonally, like forward diagonal, then do that, and there you go. Alright. I am not seeing anything that's misplaced. Hopefully. Let's go ahead and take the long screws and put them back in here. Let's see. The one lone silver screw, whoops, goes in here. And the rest goes in here. Okay. Let's do this first. Sometimes the bit gets stuck. Okay, don't need this. Right now, the rubber feet. So, as mentioned earlier, the rubber feet goes at the corners. And the rest, the plastics, go here. And with that, that's pretty much the process of disassembling, deep cleaning, and reassembling the PlayStation 2. Now the last thing I'll be doing is, I guess, dust the very little things about this. I'll go ahead and, well, putting these back on. Just a few. I need this open. Get this. And whatever I get, and whatever I didn't get, I can just do this. And I'm not playing any fan-made supported servers for any PlayStation 2 game that uses online. So, yeah, that's not for me. But if you do play fan-made servers, by all means, if you have one of these still, then more power to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll be plugging this back into the PlayStation 2 once I get a few games loaded up in here, as well as rearrange some things. But I think I'll do that sometime later tonight since I have a few things to do during the day. So I have a few things to do for the rest of the day. So can't take a break just yet. But yep, that is the process. And like I said, I'll be playing those games off camera. I'll see if I can make that one video for my secondary channel soon. Hopefully soon. But until then, that's it. I'm also going to be changing a few things of how I do certain outros, so I'm not going to say do what you must. I am not going to say like the video. I'm not going to say subscribe or leave a comment, because at the end of the day, that's all up to you. So, the only thing I will say is, see you later.